Okay, so one of our new words for today, vocab words, is going to be the term conjugate. And conjugate means, if you notice with these radicals, that everything is identical except the middle signs are opposite. So in this other example, example 11, here's a plus and here's a minus. So when I use the term conjugate, everything's the same, but the middle signs are opposite. So their middle sign is opposite. All right, so I'm going to FOIL. 5 times 5, I got 25. And then when I do my outside, I'm going to have 5 plus 5 square root of 7. And then when I do my inside, I'm going to have a minus 5 square root of 7. And then when I do my last term, negative, positive, negative, and then square root of 7 times the square root of 7 is the square root of 49. Now, a couple of interesting facts about conjugates. Notice those cancel out, and that's going to simplify to a 7. So 25 minus 7, I'm going to get an 18. The radicals should always cancel out with a conjugate, and I should have a number without a radical. So at this point, if you have a radical, you've messed something up. Go back, probably messed up your signs. All right, let's look at one more. And then first, 3 times 3. And then outside, that's going to give me a negative 6 square root of 5. And then inside, plus 6 square root of 5. And then last, minus 4, because the 2 times the 2 is where I'm getting the 4. And then square root 5 times square root 5 is the square root of 25, which is a 5. So I have a little more simplifying to do. Those cancel, and I've got a 9, and I've got a minus 20 from multiplying those two together, and then I get a negative 11. All right, now, the reason that we do conjugates is this is not in simplified form. I cannot have this radical on the bottom. But I have two terms here. So anytime you have a radical with two terms, you multiply the conjugate because that will remove the radical. And whatever you have on the bottom, you have to have the same thing on the top. Now on the bottom, when I FOIL, I should not have any more radicals. So I have first, I have outside, I have inside, and I have last, which that's going to be the square root of 25, which is 5. And that cancels, and I get a negative 1. On the top, I'm going to distribute that 7. 7 times 2, and 7 times the square root of 5, and then I have a negative 1. This answer is perfectly fine, but you can always look at separating and reducing. So positive divided by negative, negative divided by negative, and this is also acceptable. This is probably better than this because the negative 1 we should get rid of, but I would give you full credit for that. Right now on this guy, can you cancel the square root of 2's right here? The answer is no, because these are terms. This is connected to this by addition. If things are factors, you can cancel them, meaning they're multiplied. But these are terms, so I cannot. I instead have to use the conjugate. So I'm going to make the middle sign opposite, and I'm going to FOIL on the bottom first. Now I know my outside and my inside are going to cancel, so I'm going to skip it. And then my last is minus, and that'll be a square root of 4, which is 2. So I'm getting a 34 on the bottom, which the radicals removed themselves. I expected that. Now on the top, you can add parentheses to help yourself. 2 times 6, I'm FOILing, there's the first. Outside, 2 square root of 2.